I say it I've said it hundreds of times, but it's my favorite time of the week. And that is Friday's Heroes and Employee of the Week. We also have an Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability Award that we're going to give today for some city employees that saved our taxpayers a lot of money while providing great services to them. We're going to start this week with Employee of the Week. And they're predicting a little snow for this afternoon, so this probably won't be as bad as the superstorm that came through a couple of weeks ago. But it's appropriate that we have Joshua Lucero here with us today, along with Melissa Lazoya, who's our acting director of DMD. We're recognizing Joshua Lucero for his long hours and diligence that he and his teams put in during the last storm that we had. What do they call that, Goliath? They nicknamed it Storm Goliath, that we had the weekend of December 26th and 27th. Joshua is the operations supervisor of our streets division in the Department of Municipal Development, and one of their duties is snow removal. He was the foreman on call the night that the major snowstorm hit the city, and it hit the state. It hit very hard. It was a very dangerous storm, and it really could have been much worse in the community here if we didn't have the dedicated men and women of DMD out there shoveling and scooping the snow. So he was in charge of deploying his crews to various locations in the city. Joshua worked for 16 straight hours that day, tirelessly tracking snowfall accumulations and icy conditions around the city. And through his tracking and continuous communication with his crews, Joshua was able to assist APD in the coordination of road closures, which is also an important part of our activities. He directed the plowing, applying of the salt and cinder, and most importantly, he did everything in his power to keep the city's roads clear and to keep our residents safe. We knew that we'd have an El Nino this year. Our weather forecaster did a nice job of giving us a heads up on that. So DMD, Melissa and her crew, Mike Reardon, our COO, we talked pretty early on this year about making sure that we had plenty of salt and cinder, that we had crews on call, that we didn't get caught by surprise. Now, even when you do that, you can still get caught by surprise, but we didn't on this major storm. So this is why we're actually honoring Joshua, but this award also goes to the entire team of people at DMD that went out there and kept us safe. I think that Joshua brought Bella with him today. This is his daughter, so nice to meet you. Your nails look great. And I'm going to have Melissa Lazoya, who's our director of DMD, come up and say a few words about Joshua, what he and the crews do, and maybe give you a little bit of a heads up on some of the other things DMD is doing to keep us safe. Melissa.
Thank you, Mayor Barry. I'm very excited, honored, and privileged to recognize Joshua Lucero for representing us during that storm. He did a great job in coordinating with his crews, getting people where they needed to be. It can be a pretty chaotic and hectic situation, having to be throughout the city, talking to people, finding out where the storm is hit, where he needs to be sent, and then coordinating with our crews. So thank you so much for your work and representing DMD in a positive light. We're excited. DMD is responsible for our city's infrastructure and keeping that maintained for our citizens. We're always looking at improvements that can be done. And so I want to thank Mayor Barry for his support. And on behalf of DMD, Joshua, I'd like to present you with the City Center medallion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we've got what we do for our employees of the week is we have a mug that's good for coffee or hot chocolate. It's good for both of those things. And we also have for you an Employee of the Week certificate, and we have a letter for your personnel file. And
Thank you.
I can tell you, as a guy that spent my career in construction, I know, keeping all these rigs running all the time, keeping the equipment up. I know you've got, not only you're battling snow and ice, you're battling, human beings that have to go out there and work long hours. You're battling equipment that can sometimes break. I can imagine that every time we get out there, something breaks and you got to fix it. So appreciate your diligence, your dedication to the city. Thanks for keeping us safe and working those long hours. We're proud of you. Thanks a lot. Clap for your dad. Today I'm joined for our Friday's Hero with Officer Jones and Sergeant Wheeler, and I'll introduce our family here in just a minute. And Commander Donovan Oliveira is here with us. He's going to speak on behalf of APD leadership today. We talk about time and time again about what our police officers do with the Albuquerque Police Department. And those duties are varied, and they just run the gamut of all kinds of public safety incidents. And today's an interesting one to talk about another positive outcome that came from dedication and good training and professionalism on behalf of our officers. Today we're recognizing Officer Michael Jones and Sergeant Nick Wheeler as this week's Friday's Heroes. So one night at about midnight, 11:55 actually, in the bitter cold temperatures, there were calls coming from a distraught man who was walking on the Paseo del Norte flyover, the new one we built a couple of years ago. Officer Jones arrived, and after assessing the situation, he found that the man was intoxicated and also suicidal. Sergeant Wheeler arrived on scene quickly, and he directed the shutdown of the freeway and the overpass, despite having extremely limited resources. He, with the help of the state police and Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office for Traffic Control, got that done. And after securing the perimeter, Sergeant Wheeler joined Officer Jones on the overpass, and they spent some time calming down the situation. They negotiated with the man with their crisis intervention training skills that we provide at the Albuquerque Police Department to not let go of the ledge that he was holding on to. Albuquerque is a leader, as many of you know, in crisis intervention training. We will be the first department in the country of any size that has 100% of our officers trained in crisis intervention. And we're also beginning the process soon to do that with our firefighters and with our fire department. We think it's really important. Mental health has become a major issue in the United States. It's become a major issue in policing, and it's become a major issue for just quality of life for people, both those who live with mental health issues and their families and the community at large. And I'm proud that we're a leader. But you know what? It takes these leaders in the field to take all of that training and put it to work and actually save a life. So they spent 3 hours on this bitterly cold night helping talk this gentleman down from this suicidal situation that he was in. Officer Jones and Sergeant Wheeler did this by expressing their genuine concern, and they exhibited excellent crisis management skills. So their compassion in this situation, as much as their professionalism, I think, led to his surrender, basically, and being saved. Officer Jones then went above and beyond. He reached out to the man's wife, who had been searching for him and was very scared, as you can imagine, to let her know that her husband was doing okay, that he had been taken to the hospital for evaluation. Officer Michael Jones and Sergeant Nick Wheeler saved the life of a husband that night and the father of 3 young children, and while reminding the man that all was not lost and that he did have something to live for and that there was a reason to look forward to the next morning. So for that reason, for their compassion and their perseverance, we are honoring them with today's Friday's Hero. They did bring some family with them. This beautiful young lady, her name is Sierra, and this handsome young gentleman, his name is Jacob. So we got a chance to meet in the mayor's office, and Officer Jones's wife is here. Elizabeth is here. So I want to thank you for bringing your families. So I'm going to have Commander Donovan Oliveira speak just a little bit about these two gentlemen, and then we'll hand out our awards.
Thank you, Mayor. This is just one of many examples that Sergeant Wheeler and his officers display on a daily activity. They go up and beyond, and they always make sure they take that extra step and think outside the picture in order to not only assist individuals that are in need, but to offer those resources. And on a daily basis, I continuously receive emails on the hard work that Sergeant Wheeler and his officers and Officer Jones display. And as the commander for the Valley, I'm truly honored and proud that they work for me and are true representatives of the Albuquerque Police Department.
Thanks, Commander. Appreciate you.
Sir.
Thanks for coming by. So, gentlemen, what we do for Friday's Heroes is we had a coin specifically made for this purpose for our Friday's Heroes. It's called the Mayor's Public Safety Heroes Award. And it talks about our police officers, our firefighters, and our emergency management team. And we hand this out to very special individuals who have gone above and beyond and who have really demonstrated exemplary service to our community. So I'd like to present each of you today with Friday's Heroes coin.
Thanks, sir.
And I want to tell you we're just awfully grateful for what you do every day. Go out there and be safe, and thank you to the families. We know it's tough to be a spouse of a police officer, active duty military, anybody that puts on a uniform, goes out there to protect us. You risk your lives every day. You save lives every day. So thanks to the families, and thanks for all that you do. So
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
for those of you that have been coming to Employee of the Week and Friday's Heroes for the last 6 years, will know that every once in a while we have an ESA award. Let me remind everybody what the ESA is. In my first year as mayor, we wanted to tackle fraud, waste, and abuse. But we wanted to do it in a way that we thought was innovative. And so we branded a program called ESA, which stands for Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability. The reason we did that is because we wanted our employees to think along the lines of, when you think about fraud, waste, and abuse, we all recoil from that. We all want to tackle that issue. But if we can do it in a positive way by talking about accountability, talking about stewardship, looking for better ways to take taxpayer resources and return those back to the citizens with quality services that are more efficient and less expensive, that's good stuff. And I'll tell you, we started this program by putting out $20,000 from the mayor's discretionary fund, from my discretionary fund, that we would use to send those dollars back into departments that could be innovative thinkers and save taxpayer dollars, just in the form of an award. It does not go to the individual employee. It goes back to the department, and they can do anything they want with it. They can buy a new copier, they can buy a new coffee maker, they can have a retreat or a get-together, whatever they decide to do from a team-building standpoint. And since we started this program, we have handed out a little less than the $20,000. And at this point, Lou Hoffman, who's our director of our finance department, has been able to identify over $25 million in taxpayer savings. And a lot of those savings are recurring. A lot of things that we come up with ESA, the savings that we can identify 1 year recurs month after month, year after year. So it's been a tremendously successful initiative, and the reason we've been able to take $20,000 of taxpayer resources and leverage those into $25 million into savings is because we frankly do have great employees at the city of Albuquerque. We have people who are thinking about making things better. We go through entrepreneurship training now at the city of Albuquerque. We have we have PSU, which is Public Sector University, where we can try to get our management teams thinking about this. And it's been a lot of fun for me as a mayor to watch some of these efficiency awards. So that's a long intro into what we're doing today, which is another example of this. And today we're recognizing the Department of Technology and Innovation and Finance and Administration for their work in adjusting our city's cell phone program. And we're going to award them today's Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability Award. As I said earlier, this is about the 20th time we've been able to do that during my administration. Major savings to the taxpayers. The members of the team that we're awarding today are Olivia Padilla-Jackson is here with us. Paul Chapman is here with us today. Jerry Romero is here with us. Help me with this.
Polo's not here.
Who's this?
Polo.
Hippolito is not here today.
He's not here today.
All right, Peter Ames is here with us today as well. So here's what they did. This team got together in the summer of 2015 to look at the city's cell phone program. And this actually is a discussion that started right here in this room with our weekly directors meeting. And your CAO, Rob Perry, who refuses to come up and get a recognition today, who's sitting right over there, actually sparked this idea. And he thought that he had recognized some ways we could save money. He asked Lou, Olivia, and everybody to start looking into it, and then these folks took the ball and they ran with it. They found several ways that the city could be saving a lot of money every month by limiting phone upgrades, centralizing the ordering of phones, and monitoring the zero usage phones, which I can have them explain a little bit. But we had phones that we're paying for that nobody was even using. So after implementing the policy changes last summer, the city has on average been saving $14,000 a month. And this is projected to save approximately $170,000 annually. And of course, that will be $170,000 year after year after year. To date, just since last summer, the savings has also already reached over $70,000. And because of their ambitious and meticulous attitude and their hard work, I'm happy to award them with the ESA award. I'll be signing their check. The way the award works is we will send the departments a check of up to $1,000, a 10% check, but up to $1,000. And even though this would be normally higher than that, this is what their check will be for today. We're very thankful, and I'm going to have Lou Hoffman give you a little bit more background, and then I'll go, I guess I have to sign the big check. So, Lou?
Sure. Well, good morning. I'm happy to be here with these folks who I'm also happy to report regularly look for ways to save money. And the preparation of the 2016 budget that we're on now, Our budget office noticed that cell phone costs had gone up about 50% over a couple of years. And we decided we probably needed to take a hard look at it. Actually, about 5 years ago, our IT folks actually did some of what we did this time, but we were able to find even more money than we did the last time around. So as the mayor said, we recovered phones that weren't being used. We knew that there were a lot of people that had multiple devices that probably weren't necessary, so we reduced the inventory of cell phones and the licenses associated with that. And it is material. And again, I'd just like to reemphasize, I'm pleased to say that these folks, including our IT folks, are constantly looking for ways to save the taxpayer money and better utilize their resources. So this is just another example of actually our ongoing attention to this matter. So congratulations and thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Lou. And, another thing that we did, so I'm going to put Peter on the spot, this voice over IP.
Correct.
That's a pretty significant savings as well.
It is, Mayor.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Sure.
So Peter Ames, I want Peter to talk about another big taxpayer savings that we came up with in the last year or so. In fact, we just got our new IP phones.
Yes, actually, Paul Chapman here was our project manager for the Voice over IP project and another successful project that we recently completed. But it gave us the opportunity to go out and get a one-time procurement of Voice over IP phones and replace the traditional PBX analog switches that we were using and paying a recurring charge for on an annual basis, and reduce those contracts associated with lease lines. And now we're using our IP internal network to make voice phone calls. And so we'll have our return on investment completed within 5 years on this, and then we'll own the system with no cost primarily going forward. So it's another great opportunity to reduce that recurring cost around our telecom environment. I just want to mention real quick too on the wireless device program that we have and the reduction that we've done. It's really around being smart about how we utilize wireless technology, because as we know, the world is going wireless. We're promoting a mobile workforce. Many of our field workers now are using tablets to access systems to be more efficient with. But as long as we're smart about how we deploy that and how we manage it and be optimizing that inventory like Olivia and Paul have done, we're going to be using that technology to its best benefit. So,
and once again, you weren't planning on this, but by moving away from those former leases we had, the savings are multiple millions per year, I believe. Is that correct?
1.6. Yeah, we're looking at over 1.6 million in savings just in lease lines and leasing of these PBXs. So it's a good program.
So I want to thank everybody for what you're doing, and I'll give you a quick signature here, and we will always feel. We'll let you take the big check and try to cash that later. But anyway, listen, appreciate all you're doing. To all our city employees, thank you for what you do every day. So today, look, I don't know how many Friday shares we've done, maybe over 200 since I've been the mayor. Never run out of stories to tell you about your police officers, about your firefighters, about your city employees doing good things, about these dedicated people. Many of them that were here before I became mayor, and they'll be here after I'm the mayor. And I'm just thrilled that they would take these initiatives that we've come up with, take them to heart, go out there with passion and energy, put them to work on behalf of the taxpayers, and just lucky to be a mayor of this great town, with all these great city employees that we have. So thanks everybody, and have a good weekend.